you egg, sitting there on your gamer chair, looking at your 144 hertz monitor adorned in thigh highs, a skirt, and a cropped sweater, telling yourself, I'm still cis. Dark Souls, a game captivating in a way you just can't describe. Can it be beneath the brutal difficulty, the jankiness, and the masochistic inclinations of Hidetaka Miyazaki, there just might be a powerful queer narrative that speaks to you? Could this be why my inspirational gay H-bomber guy decided to make a Dark Souls 2 video and put his honor and pride on the line? Well, anyways, I'm here, a filthy casual, to explain why Dark Souls is so popular amongst the gays and how it is about hell to crack your egg. Before the initial cutscenes roll and you wake up alone in this unfamiliar world, there is one incredibly important aspect of the game you need to pour all of your focus and emotional energy into: character creation. Character creation in Dark Souls is so oddly in-depth that you can spend countless hours customizing your character and somehow struggle to make them look as much like your gender as you would like, because of just how much control they give you over every aspect of even the bone structure, which naturally makes the player, step back and think, okay, what is a femme? What is a mask? And more importantly, what do I want to look like? It really encourages that kind of introspection in a way that games usually don't. The thing is, it's like very trans girl vibes. I don't know, yeah, just trans girl vibes. After spending all of that time designing your perfect character, you wake up as a zombie, which looks nothing like you designed. And in order to maintain the appearance you actually want, your ideal self, and the small stat and emotional boosts that come from being an idealized self, you'll need to constantly perform maintenance, reversing zombification after every death using the consumable humanity item feels a lot like shaving to many transfem people early in transition. It's hard to keep up with, and sometimes, you just say, fuck it, which is totally fine to do. You'll find pretty dresses you want to wear, but life circumstances such as being attacked by a giant lava centipede make it hard, so you end up wearing the big, bulky armor instead for protection. Even when unzombified, you'll look at your character's face in different lighting and wonder if you made the right choices during character creation. However, as you progress, you will eventually have plenty of humanity to stay unzombified all the time. You'll have the skill and stats to wear whatever the hell you want, and start to just get really comfortable with what your character looks like. You are called cursed for being undead by many early game doomer NPCs who consistently imply that your existence will be a miserable one. This mirrors how the trans experience is too often depicted in our culture as one defined by suffering. You may feel this way for the first part of the game due to, the zombification mechanic and overall difficulty, but over time, you start to get the hang of things and realize that being undead actually isn't a huge deal. Not only this, but you find out being undead is actually, a natural state for humans in this universe, which is intentionally stigmatized by a pantheon of gods who wanted to maintain their control over humanity. This fits with the strong running theme of beauty and monstrosity both being illusory. Many of the NPCs wear masks to hide their real faces. Crossbreed Priscilla, an abomination who doesn't belong in this world, and the antithesis of all life, just wants to protect her fellow outcasts. The fair lady Spider Queen, who appears at first to be monstrous and demonic, is just in pain and trying to get any relief she can. Guinevere, Princess of Sunlight, who represents the feminine ideal, is a literal illusion. Which brings me to one of my favorite Dark Souls characters, or, well, I guess my writer's favorite Dark Souls character, Dark Sun Gwendolyn. She is, and you can take my writer up on this, a canonically transgender half-serpent goddess who is pretty central to the plot of the first game, despite the fact that she is secretly pulling the strings behind everything that happens in the story. The player will probably never encounter or even know about her on their initial playthrough. Gwendolyn chooses to interface with her subjects and the player through a famously well-endowed illusion of her sister, the Sunlight Princess Guinevere, staying hidden away in a secret chamber herself. The two ways you can make her hostile are dispelling this illusion and entering her chamber. She hates her body and absolutely does not want to be perceived like the gays do not wish to be perceived, especially on Trans Week of Remembrance. Even her combat style is unique amongst Dark Soul bosses, as it has her constantly retreating from the player and firing projectiles from the range. Gwendolyn is honestly such a tragic character, but one many trans people can relate to, particularly in how she feels a need to literally project an image of perfect, immaculate femininity to satisfy others. Struggle in its various forms is a central theme of the Dark Souls games, and it very efficiently explores that as another important part of the human experience. Trans people uncomfortably tend to have gone through a lot of struggle in their lives, so engaging with this sort of play has a comforting familiarity to it. While many undead in the grim world of Dark Souls doom out in response to this struggle and lose their sanity, the most memorable characters are those who persist. It's why everyone loves the Jolly Onion Knight Sigmire and the optimistic Sunbro Solier. Why did I roll my R there? They boldly embrace meaningful struggle, and in doing so, defy the dystopia they reside in. Inhabiting a body shaped from puberty by hormones you never wanted can feel like living out an apocalyptic existence at times, which makes this theme of struggle against dystopia resonate even more. Solier is a character I especially love, who embodies this theme. He gives you the soapstone items, which you use to engage in cooperative multiplayer, or jolly cooperation as he calls it. Helping other people is part of what gives meaning to his eternal life as an undead warrior, which makes perfect sense. Studies on happiness have shown that altruism is one of the only truly suitable sources of joy for people in the long term. And hell, there's even a video by Daryl Talks Games that talks about how Dark Souls can be used to help with, and not cure, but at least help depression in some people. But Solier too needs help at one point when he falls into an emotional funk. I love this because everyone goes through rough patches, even those who usually seem like balls of endless sunshine. I'm dead. Look at my health bar! Also, I greatly appreciate Solier being one of those, like, cool pan characters who will flirt with you regardless of your character's gender. It can be easier, and at times emotionally necessary to ignore both the unjust dystopian world around us and the pain of dysphoria within. However, hiding away from these things to avoid struggle is unsustainable and does not facilitate a true, meaningful existence. We are living through a historically difficult era. Things are hard right now, especially if you are trans, but the good news is we don't have to struggle alone. Life has been going a lot better for me recently, but I have absolutely no idea how I would have made it through parts of this year without support from my friends and community, who I'm so thankful to have in my life. No matter how hard things get, there are always people you can team up with to make life better, especially if their name is Let Me Solo. Even if you haven't met them yet, I love the way Dark Souls conveys this through its drop in cooperative multiplayer system. Its world is grim and dangerous, but full of potential allies.
This video likely didn't crack your egg, huh? It's more likely than not that your egg is already cracked and looks like, you know, the one over there. But, you know, we as humans, we can see everything as a trans allegory. We try to see ourselves and our struggles in the media we consume. Sometimes the representation for our struggles exists. Heck, every time I see Mama in AI The Somnium Files treated with dignity, or Hunter from the Owl House and his anxiety treated with respect, I squeal a little bit on the inside. Sometimes it's sort of unintentionally intentional. See Aronof's video, The Matrix is intrinsically trans. Yet, most times, well, neither is the case. Many of us have to actively work to see ourselves in media. A sort of self-projection onto the things we love, and that's okay. It's not okay that, you know, we need to do that, but it's okay that we do it. What we get out of shows or video games or any media is unique to us. And I guess sometimes that's just interpreting Dark Souls as a foolproof method for cracking eggs. Thank you so much to Ash for helping me out with this video. She's currently behind the camera and new here on the Sky Mocha YouTube channel. She'll be helping me out with videos, and if you choose to support me on Ko-fi, all donations will go directly to her. Subscribe if you want to see more about the intersection between social issues and trans issues and technology, as well as media studies, as is best exemplified by my video Fight Club's Incel to Exploitable Chad Pipeline in the top right-hand corner. It's 1.5 hours, be warned. I shall see you all in the next video, and sayonara!